um, there was an initiative started by Scott Coffin called the Fanverse. Basically, this was an initiative on getting fan projects off the ground so that way they can start doing their own independent work. Scott would help program, he would help funding to a certain extent, and yeah. Thief King
Oh
made
yeah, I
this
remember that.
Thief King made this video called the end, like this is a clickbait video. A goodbye fanverse, end of the FNAF fanverse initiative. And one of the creators, we'll watch a bit of this, but one of the creators was mentioned in this video, and they were not happy about it. They were not, no siree, they were not happy about it. So, one of the creators mentioned was a creator, Pop Goes. I don't know if you guys watch Markiplier any. Markiplier has played this game a lot on his end. It was actually a really popular fan game because of its unique gameplay. It wasn't like the animatronics weren't just like reskins of like Freddy and Bonnie and everyone else. Like each animatronic was its own unique thing. And he was part of the initiative. This was going to be a remake of the first Popco's game, and I think eventually it was going to lead to some more games. If it was successful. But let's watch a little bit of this video so that way we can get some context.
Evergreen and Candies are clearly moving along in development. However, the Fanverse announcement had an enormous impact on the existing FNAF fan game scene. Up until now, the notion that anyone could get their fan game published and get funding for it was completely off the table. Nobody even
Okay, oh, so do you want to guess the age of Thief King?
Who or how old is he?
35.
Oh my god, he sounds like a kid.
He does. I think
actually.
I think I don't want to presume. I don't want to presume, but I think I don't know. I think they're. I'm not even trying to be edgy with this. I think there's probably something wrong. I don't know how I don't know how else to word that. Let me see if I can find the clip.
Yeah,
I kind of buried it, but like there's a clip of him from his live stream, and oh my god, he had a meltdown over this situation. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, like his voice, it sounds just like, you know, the target audience for FNAF, but meanwhile, he's actually otherwise.
He's actually a fully grown adult with a mortgage.
Yeah.
I can't find it. Screw it. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, it's. I've been watching this from like the sidelines of it all going down, and I know Finn wanted to talk about this. So I'll throw Finn a bone. We'll let him in here. Okay, Finn.
Finn, you're on the air.
All right.
Well, let me fix all that. Okay, am I coming across well?
Yes,
Yep.
you are. Okay. Give us a rundown lore.
Okay, okay, I just have to correct you for a little bit. So, in that video that you showed regarding the Fanverse possibly like ending or whatever, that wasn't actually the video that really kicked off this drama. It was actually another video created by Sheep Rampage, who made a very similar video to Theft King, which is basically talking about the issues with the Fanverse, like detailing stuff like the pair drama, which basically saw a couple of fan games getting attacked by some rogue developers. That's the best way to describe it without going into full-on lore. You know, the Sheep Rampage's video was kind of similar to Theft's, but for the most part, it was just kind of like, you know, there are problems in the Fanverse, and at some point, it kind of feels like the Fanverse sort of failed, when in reality, it hasn't. And Kane Carter,
the projects are still being developed, correct?
Yes, yes, it's still going, which is why a lot of people are like, why are they saying it's failing or it's bombed? Because Pop Goes recently just released their latest game, which was Pop Goes Arcade. And
That's
Kane
like a collection,
Carter,
isn't it? That's the collection, isn't it, of his previous
I believe.
works?
No, I think Arcade's like a brand new game that recently just showed up on Steam. I could be wrong on that, but basically, Pop Goes Arcade was a project for the fanverse that recently got released onto Steam, and it had a pretty decent success rate, even though Kane himself is like, it's not that great. But my point is, the fanverse is still going, and everyone is like really confused why Theft King and Sheep Rampage's videos were like, why? We're like, oh, the fanverse is dead or whatever.
I think it's pretty clear. It was like, I think it's pretty clear that it was probably for like clickbait reasons.
100%, and that's why Kane Carter made a tweet that was basically like, despite all these successes, there's still FNAF YouTubers that are like, oh, the fanverse is dying, and it's just completely stupid. Kane himself went in on like, you can criticize the fanverse all you want, but if you just focus solely on the negatives, it's going to get really annoying because, like, yeah, we might have had dramas that involve like fan games getting threatened or whatever. However, at the end, there are still projects that are successful. But Theft King's videos basically implied that the fanverse isn't a success, but rather a bomb project from Scott. Which clearly isn't the case.
Like Scott intended this to fail, or?
Well, to be fair, Scott himself hasn't really been that involved in the fanverse as of late because, like, sure, he's funding it, but in terms of communication, that's actually like one of the main reasons why you're not seeing a lot of fan games being invited in any other fan games being invited into the fanverse. Because one of the main stories that come out of the fanverse was Afton Built, which was another fan game that the developers.
Oh yeah, I heard about this one. The developer signed an NDA and he broke that NDA.
Something like that. The thing with Afton Built was that it was designed like specifically to be invited to be in the fanverse, even though it's from developers that haven't really proved themselves. Unlike Kane Carter and El Malco, who are people that did get that were involved.
Oh yeah, because like a good chunk of the fanverse were people who already made successful fan games or well-liked fan games. I'll be honest with you, this drama is very very, very stupid. Like on both ends, I should say on both ends. Like because like it's just like grown men. It's grown men crying about a children's franchise.
No, it's mostly Theft that's crying because what literally happened.
I know Kane's done his fair share of complaining. He's done his fair share.
I know, but I think it's mostly him like looking at it from a developer point. But I see what you mean. But with Theft King, he's like the one guy that almost everyone can agree with is like completely losing it. This guy went on like a 5-hour live stream to like 2,000 viewers, crying about like Kane not replying to his DMs on Twitter, when in reality, Kane Carter showed, oh yeah, we actually talked about this stuff on Discord, like literally talked about it, and not only that, but because of people disagreeing with Theft King's like response to Kane's original tweet. He made the
party. I gotta go do something real quick. Man the ship.
Man ship. Okay. All right. Finn, continue.
Okay. So basically, because of Theft King getting a very negative response to his tweet, he made the claim that he was getting harassed by some of Kane's viewers. Mm-hmm. Or like people that saw like Kane's original tweets. Here's the problem. He never really showed that he was getting harassed. It's not like he was showing off DMs of like people telling him to KYS or anything. Like none of that stuff. And Kane himself was like, "Hey, can you show the proof that you're being harassed so I can get these people out of my community?" But Theft never responded to that DM. So it's like, what the hell? Yeah, it is. But it gets even worse. It gets even worse. So when Kane Carter brought this up on his alternate Twitter account, what he did is that he went to the live stream that Theft King was holding. He made a donation saying, hey, keep your chin up, man. You should probably check the latest tweet on Popgo's loss. Excuse me. And Theft King molded. This guy was like, are you serious right now? I've been begging you to reply to me, and you decided to do this? What the hell's wrong with you? Like this is a 30-year-old man crying because someone donated saying, hey, you should look at this Twitter account. It's so stupid. Oh,
So this is the first time I'm hearing like fully in depth about what this thing is. All I've seen was like a couple tweets on my timeline. That was about it.
I think that was the reason why John saw this, because like
I think that's the reason why it showed up in mine as well.
Yeah. It gets even funnier, because what ends up happening is that later on in the live stream, it was like towards the end, I believe. Freaking Theft King went on a freaking schizo rant, and he said like, if there was a hell, Kane Carter will burn for eternity in there. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Again, this is a grown man crying because someone didn't like his clickbait thumbnails. Oh my god, dude.
So this is just another common case of two retards fighting, is what I'm getting at.
Well, yeah, it's mostly with Kane. His whole thing was like, he didn't really like the thumbnails from like of implying that like stuff is failing when clearly it isn't. And while you could say that that's kind of cringe, Theft King is literally molding because someone didn't like his thumbnails, and that because he got a little bit of flack, it's all of a sudden harassment, and wants like Kane to like disavow this harassment that he hasn't shown much proof of. All he's been doing is crying on stream about it.
Right. Actually, we have a clip of him. We have the clip of him talking about it on stream. Let's play it.
Dude, do it. Do it.
You can
All right, Finn, control yourself.
Sorry.
see you have a pending notification in your messages and just not ever open it. So, I know he hadn't read it, but I didn't know that he didn't know of it. I mean, I assumed, hey, Kane asked me. He asked me to do it. And so, like, of course, why? Of course I'm going to reach out. He told me, yeah, reach out to me on D. I need to get that fucking picture. Hang on a second, guys. I need to get that fucking picture because this is what it all comes down to, you know? Fuck. I don't know why this guy hates me so much. Like, I've tried to be so nice to him. Gone far out of his way. Anyway. I just wish he didn't, you know? I just wish he didn't. You did a great job with this.
I don't really see much here.
Yeah, dude, this guy's like saying that like Kane Carter all of a sudden hates him when that hasn't happened. Like, it's just funny because like I want to say a few days before this controversy, he was literally like streaming like Pop Goes, like the recent game and all. And it seemed like everything was fine. And Kane himself was like completely open to like answer questions, I guess. It just feels so freaking weird that this has led to a grown man molding about this like dumb freaking excuse me interview. And basically, like, if you go through Fiznom's Twitter, it's essentially just a bunch of Theft King dunking, because there was like a bunch of stuff coming out about how apparently Theft King trying to bribe someone to do some to like I think it was like to release get like a game or something. I don't remember.
The other day I held a live
but
stream,
it was just like some other stuff behavior.
Oh, you're breaking up a bit, Finn. What was that?
Okay. Sorry. I was basically saying that like Tom's Twitter is essentially a full-on dunking of Theft King's entire reputation, I guess. and there was like stuff being shown of like him having scummy behavior, like bribery, or saying that, or basically complaining that people are going into private to freaking to freaking ask, or no, basically he was complaining about people going into private to apologize about stuff when he wants them to do it publicly because he wants to look good in the public view instead of like, oh, I don't know, actually handling shit privately. This guy literally goes on a live stream to complain about Kane Carter's like. That's an excuse for almost every fucking drama that everyone in this community talks about. It's funny to talk about because this is so pathetic, but also hilarious at the same time.
Take a breath.
Okay, Finn. I know you're getting really excited, Finn. I know.
I will say one funny thing. Of course, I ended up. I'm gonna say this one real quick before I jump off. There is a screenshot that's being like thrown around about freaking Steph King pulling a Jalen about regarding like religious viewpoints. It's completely irrelevant to the story, but it's just absolutely hilarious that we found another guy who wants to destroy religion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just something funny.
Yeah, let's watch his apology video. Thank you for your call, Finn.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
The focus of the live stream ended up being about the controversy between me and Kane Carter. I ended up saying some pretty horrible things about him and other creators in the fanverse, as well as censoring a variety of messages in chat. Prior to that, I had lost my composure and put Kane in a really unfair situation, making unreasonable demands of him on Discord. Some of you might have noticed that I released a video yesterday that didn't address any of the recent drama surrounding my channel, and many of you understandably saw this as me trying to avoid the
he's got like the standard like YouTuber apology voice where it's kind of like, oh, it's so raspy because
yeah, he literally sounds like a teenager about to like start fucking crying.
Yeah. I am taking the L. I don't think there's ever a good apology video in the history of YouTube, so I doubt I'm gonna be the one to crack the code, but I still had to try. I wanted to clarify I don't have any hard feelings against Johnny Blocks. As he said in his initial tweet, he had to come for me, and I got very upset and retaliated. I genuinely believe that we had to come to an understanding afterwards, but Johnny recently indicated that that was not the case. Johnny, I apologize. Okay, yada yada yada. Everyone makes mistakes. Ugly truths are still truths. All right, but yeah, that's what is
controversy or bury it or something. At the time, I was of the mindset that I had already issued an apology and that the best thing I could do was move forward and demonstrate that it was earnest. In hindsight, many did perceive this as me failing to take responsibility for my actions, which is why I'm making this video now. It's only fair that I apologize on the platform on which I have the greatest reach. I won't make any excuses for the behavior I exhibited on that live stream. I just totally lost my cool when I shouldn't have. I again would like to apologize to Kane.
How long do you think this took him to edit? You think like an afternoon? 2 hours maybe?
Yeah, at most an afternoon.
To Phil, and to honestly everyone in the community. I'd also like to apologize.
Dude, he apologized to Dr. Phil. Look at that. Dr. Phil.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'd also like to apologize to my friends who were put in a terribly awkward position by my selfish actions. And I said a lot of things I really regret. I'm so sorry, and I understand that some of you will not forgive me. I fucked up. I admit I fucked up. I have to live with the consequences of my actions, and that's life. If there was something
I had to live the consequence of my actions for FNAF drama. like I have to live with the consequences of my actions for FNAF drama. Like what? What? Oh, sweet merciful Jesus.
I could do to quickly fix this, I would, but I don't think there is. Yes, I'm here making an apology video, and I assure you guys it's genuine, but I always say talk is cheap. I don't expect anyone to just believe me now that I'm suddenly saying this in the wake of experiencing such consequences. I intend to show everyone that I can be a better person than the one I was during that live stream. Through my content and my interactions with the community, I'm going to demonstrate just how much I regret my actions over the last few days. I cannot compel anyone to accept my apology. All I can do is move forward and become a person who doesn't get themselves into messes like this in the first place. In response to Kane's initial criticism of FNAF YouTube,
Let's see. Pop Goes Arcade releases on Steam. Funko and Yahtzee's merch is out this year. Is allowed to work on their project again with plenty of FNAF devs plus updates. Every FNAF YouTuber in the world. The fanverse is a failure. Scott failed us. The initiative is doomed.
YouTubers in general. Going forward, I'm going to be very mindful of anyone perceiving a title or thumbnail as misleading. I recognize that not all of my thumbnails have been appropriate. These two are both positive videos, but the thumbnail...
Well, also too, like, I mean, like, I'm not, like, dude, I'm not gonna criticize, like, unless it's like something like severely, like morally questionable. I'm not gonna like get up in arms for someone clickbaiting. Like, how many people in this community have clickbaited before? Like, why should I get upset about that?
It's not just this community. It's like YouTube as a whole.
Yeah,
like,
YouTube as a whole. Why would like even like Mr. Beast?
Why is this guy?
Like even Mr. Beast clickbaits, and you know, like he I mean, he's honest majority of the time with the clickbait, but still, you know, like
like
everyone does it. It's part of the game at this point.
Yeah, it's a standard for the fucking YouTube grind at this point.
Yeah. So it's just like, I mean, say what you want about like the thumbnails of the videos, but clearly it made people click on them. I don't know.
Would imply otherwise. Not every video needs to have a hyperbolic, dramatic headline that's pushing the very boundaries of accuracy.
Well, I mean, that's how you get clicks. My question is, why the F are 30-year-olds today act like teenagers? Because they didn't have fathers. That's why. Reload. They didn't have fathers.
Not only that, it's the fucking FNAF community. They're all retarded.
Yeah. The only one who isn't dumb in this community is probably Markiplier, and he hasn't done a FNAF-related video in forever.
Yeah. Because there hasn't really been hell of a much.
But yeah, to answer your question again, Reload, it's fatherless behavior. That's why. Squatchin says because Ghost and I don't want to adult, says Squatchin.